Hey, it's Shannon. I'm back to do another more in-depth video on castor oil. Because of my last video that I did on utilizing castor oil for over 20 years, I've had a lot of questions from you guys to go deeper and what I used it for and how I used it and all the other effects that I've had, all the other healings that I've had, also what brands do I use and what the quality, all of it. So we're gonna dive deep today. Here we go. Let's start with skin. I know that in my last video, I briefly talked about my evening routine that I do, but I really wanted to go a little bit deeper is why is castor oil so beneficial to the skin, even though it's such a thick oil? And I know a lot of people tend to get a little weary and a little scared of putting that on their skin because they think they might break out. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have very sensitive skin, and over the years, especially my teenage years, my early 20s, and even into my 30s, I suffered from acne, cysts, and boils. And I will do another video on how I completely healed that, but one of the things that I used was definitely castor oil. Castor oil is antimicrobial, it's antifungal, it is amazing to put on the skin because it's full of vitamin E, it's full of antioxidants. It's really good at going deep into the skin and helping to kill the germs or any bacteria that might be lurking there. So I utilized that for acne in the past. I also used it for scars. Really helps for breaking down old scar tissue, but also we'll go there in a second, but I'll just touch on it really briefly, that you can use it for other scar tissue in your body. So I had an emergency C-section with my son, and I had some issues, even just like a year after I had him, with just scar tissue buildup in my stomach. And so utilizing the castor oil packs really help to break that down and completely get rid of it is absolutely incredible. So that's my experience. I'm not saying that this is going to happen for every single person. I'm not saying that any of the things I'm about to talk about is going to be the same results for every other person. I'm saying what I've experienced over the years and what's really helped me, and maybe it can help you. So castor oil is amazing for reducing fine lines, wrinkles, deep set wrinkles, really great for inflammation under the eyes, darkness under the eyes, because castor oil is really great for helping to reduce inflammation in general. It's going to reduce puffiness. So before I go to bed, I do my evening routine where I do the castor oil on my face. I'll do a castor oil pack. Not all the time, but I used to do castor oil packs all the time when I had issues with scar tissue, or if I've had liver, or if I've had just upset stomach or period issues. I've utilized it for all of that, and it's really made a big difference. So amazing for reducing all of those fine lines and puffiness under the eyes. If you're over 40, seriously, you need to be using castor oil. It's one of the best things. I think I took it for granted when I was younger, just utilizing castor oil for packs and sometimes using it on acne and scars. And I really didn't know at that time how beneficial it is for fine lines and wrinkles on the face. It's also really good for hyperpigmentation. After I had my son, I had a lot right here, and it's gone now. So I know that it definitely has helped with that and completely getting rid of it. Also dark patches. I had like a loony size patch right here on the side of my face, and I used castor oil on that all the time, and that completely went away as well. So all of those things have really worked and benefited with me. I also wrote a whole bunch of notes, guys, so if I kind of turn this way, you'll know that that's what I'm looking at is my notes, because there's so much I want to cover with you guys today. The other thing is when you get older, if you start with perimenopause or if you're in menopause, sometimes your skin gets really dehydrated and flaky and just, like the elbows and the knees and all of that. And castor oil works wonders with that too. In my previous video that I talked about my nighttime skin routine, I also talked about doing castor oil on the hands because it is so anti-aging. It's just so anti-aging in general. And sometimes we neglect certain things like our neck and our hands and keeping them really hydrated and soft, right? So it's one of the best things to do for that as well. So on the same topic of skin is you can utilize castor oil for moles, for skin tags, for warts. So for warts, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take castor oil and some baking soda and put it on that area with a band-aid over it every single day for 2 weeks, and that will help to get rid of it. What I haven't done I don't have moles or anything, but I have talked to a lot of people that have utilized it for moles and have had really great success. For me, years ago in my late 20s, I had a couple of skin tags, and I put the castor oil on it every day with a band-aid, and the skin tag just dried up and then fell off. So you can definitely utilize it with that. Now, let's, on a side note, talk about what is the cause of skin tags to begin with. Well, the cause of skin tags to begin with is actually high insulin. So I was really stressed out, working long hours all the time. And so even if you're eating a fairly healthy diet, but your cortisol level is up all the time, because your body is in a high stress state, your adrenals are working overload and overtime, then you are going to create insulin resistance, even though you might have a healthy diet. So we have to remember that an unhealthy diet of having lots of processed food, lots of processed sugar is going to create skin tags. But at the same time, if you are eating healthy, but you're really stressed out all the time, you're not doing anything to support the adrenals, you're not doing anything to support, balancing like mental calmness to relax the mind, then you are still going to create skin tags with that insulin resistance. So that's one thing that people don't actually realize, that that's a cause. So in what I do with coaching, what I've always done is talk about preventative. How can we prevent things from happening so that, we don't have the diseases and the ailments and stuff that we do? I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't know why they're caused, but there are some things that we can prevent. And so if we have an idea of certain things that we can prevent, then why not take the advancements and doing that the younger, the better. And I know in this day and age, especially with the Western world, we don't really talk about prevention of anything. Maybe because there's no money in that. Anyways, getting back to topic, is utilizing the castor oil for skin tags is absolutely amazing. So then going on to the next thing would be liver. So I know in the previous video, I also talked about doing the castor oil packs. If you want to know how to do a castor oil pack, go to my last one that I did. I explained how I do a castor oil pack, or if you want to purchase them, what you need to do. So when I do a castor oil pack, I put it on the liver because the liver is what detoxifies all of the toxins in our body. It's really important that our liver is functioning properly, or we're kind of in trouble, aren't we? And that our digestion is working properly. So doing castor oil packs over the liver really helps with inflammation. It helps with people with fatty liver. It helps with any type of inflammation that's going on there in general. If you've got a lot of stress, if you got higher liver enzymes, it really does help. So utilizing that, and as you want to remember, some people have detoxing effects if they've got a lot of issues. If they've got tons of issues, if they've been eating unhealthy for a very long time, you want to just start slowly. And then when I had said slowly, I meant, just a couple times a week, then slowly increasing that to every night. You can do a castor oil pack on your liver every single night. The other thing is PMS. It's absolutely incredible, you guys. The effects, and the women that I have talked to over the years that have, had lots of period cramping, period pain, ovarian pain. It's crazy at how it really helps to reduce that. PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So women that are struggling because they're infertile because of PCOS, it really helps with reducing cysts. I am going to do another video on how I completely got rid of my cysts. Gosh, 6 years ago. And so how I've reversed it. And that's a whole thing. But castor oil packs are definitely included in that. So looking at that. The other thing is fibroids. Helping to reduce fibroids. There's just so many people that have seen the results with that as well. It's just incredible. Now, the other thing that you can do, like I was just talking about, where you might feel really stressed for long periods of time, you're not doing anything to support your adrenals. I think I've done videos on some supplements that you can also do to make sure that your adrenal is being supported. But one of the things you can do is your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys. They're like two walnut shaped organs that sit on top of the kidneys. So you can do a castor oil pack around your back and help with just calming the adrenals. And believe me, when you do that, you're gonna have a really good night's sleep. I have a really good night's sleep too when I do it on my liver. I just find that it just brings me so much more peace, and I'm able to fall into the deepest sleep. It's just so calming and so warm. My body feels like this nice warm blanket that's over it with the castor oil pack, where I just have the best night's sleep. So I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I definitely have. The other thing is kidneys, obviously, urinary tract infections. If you tend to pee a lot throughout the night, you have urinary tract infections, then doing castor oil packs over that area is really beneficial. Hair. Let's talk about hair for a second. So there's some people that are experiencing hair loss, and putting castor oil on the hair follicles is really beneficial for helping to regrow hair. What I find might work a little bit better is taking a little bit of castor oil. So the thing is with castor oil is it's so thick is that it makes your hair super greasy. So you have to just do very, very little. Utilizing some tea tree, because that also stimulates the hair follicles, and also utilizing rosemary. So these are essential oils, tea tree and rosemary essential oils, in order to stimulate hair growth with the castor oil is a really great thing. And again, you want to use very, very little. I also kind of want to say, on a side note, I know in some forums or some, YouTube videos, people talk about doing castor oil internally for constipation. And I don't suggest that, only because it can really give you really bad diarrhea. It can make you be running to the bathroom pretty bad, and causing a lot of contractions in the intestine. So I know that people say, like, especially like when I talk to like grandparents and stuff, they would use castor oil internally years ago. And I get that. If you've done that and that works for you, okay. But for any of you new viewers looking at castor oil, I just don't suggest taking it internally. I just don't. So on to the next thing, which is eyebrows and eyelashes. It works absolutely incredible for keeping your eyebrows, all the hair there, because I know for a lot of people, they tend to, as they get older, their eyebrows get more sparse. Now, another side effect of having sparse eyebrows is thyroid. So it's usually a thyroid, an underactive thyroid issue. And so that's a whole other video as well. But using castor oil can help definitely with that. Eyelashes, it makes your eyelashes nice and thick. You can go to like the dollar store and just get a plain or eyelash brush, and then just put castor oil in that, and you can do it. Now, again, it's so important that you guys understand that you want to make sure that it is organic, cold pressed, or it can be expeller press, but organic is very, very essential, in a glass bottle, and making sure that it's hexane free. So all of those things are super, super important. Usually it's in a dark amber bottle so that it keeps it protected from the light, and it doesn't go rancid. So there's a lot of products that are on the market that are refined castor oil. It's in a plastic bottle. Even if it says cold pressed and it's in a plastic bottle, I still shy away from that, only because castor oil pulls. So it's pulling whatever toxins, like if you're putting it in a castor oil pack, it's pulling that from the body, it's pulling it out of the liver, out of the wherever you have it. And so when you have it in a plastic bottle, it is leaching the plastics, the xenoestrogens, the microplastics, all of that disgusting crap that we don't want into our castor oil. So just a heads up on that, and making sure that you know what is beneficial, the highest quality stuff. So the other question that I had is, what do you use? What is your favorite brands? So there's a few of my favorite brands. One that I started using years and years and years ago was Palma Christi. And they've got a variation of castor oils. So they do have glass bottles, organic, cold press. They also have it in plastic bottles. So just make sure you read the description so you're getting the proper one. There's also black castor oil, and that one is actually really good for skin too. There's a lot of antioxidants and a lot of really great properties that are in black castor oil too. So I'm not going to dispel that one at all, because sometimes I do use that one and I really like it as well. It has a different scent to it. It's just a different one, but it still works really good. And some people prefer that one for hair especially than they do for the lighter one. So that'll be kind of up to you to kind of test which one that you like more. But I definitely like that one, and I've used that one for many years until, you know, castor oil started to become a lot of a big thing. Because when I was using it 20 years ago, guys, I was getting the best quality castor oil in a glass bottle. It was over a liter, and I think I was paying like 25 bucks, and now it's like 80 bucks for that. So I mean, I'm in Canada, I don't know how much it is in the States or anything, but that's how much it is here. So it's just, the prices have increased because everybody wants it. And I mean, I'm happy that more people are healing and finding really good ways to help their bodies. But I'm really sad at the jump in price of everything. And the harder it is to get the better quality, because it used to be really easy. So then the next thing, I use Naka. That's another brand. And I'm going to put these in the description below, the brands that I use. Naka is an organic one too that I really like. The other one is St. Francis. That's a really good one. I've used that one a lot. And then Queen of Thrones. That's a really great one. She was out of stock for a long time, but I think there's a whole bunch of new stock that's in. And so that one is a great one too. And a lot of these you can find on Amazon, which is good, so that you are finding the best quality ones that I want you guys to use, so that you are seeing the best results for your body. So I talked about sleep and detoxification. The other thing, you guys, is cellulite. So with the castor oil, because it helps to reduce the appearance of cellulite, because it helps to break down scar tissue, it helps to break down toxins in the body. So it will help with reducing cellulite. And again, like I was saying, if you have deep scars from years ago, then it will help with that. Or like I had said with the C-section that I had, helping with any type of breaking down scar tissue, like deep scar tissue in the body, whether you have an old injury, shoulder injury, knee injury, whatever, that castor oil is absolutely phenomenal for that. The other thing is, if you get hurt, if you have a strain, a sprain, a bruise, old injuries, do castor oil packs on those areas, because they're absolutely phenomenal at reducing the pain and the swelling and the inflammation in that area, like faster than anything I've ever seen. Faster than Advil, faster than Tylenol. I don't use those things because I really don't like them, how my body reacts, but I love the way castor oil heals my body so fast from those things. So I utilize it for that. If somebody has arthritis, the joint pain, the inflammation that's going on in there, the castor oil will help with that as well. So over the years, my parents, my brothers, we've all, like, for anything that's ever gone on with us, we've used castor oil. I'll tell you a couple of examples that I had back in like 2005, 2006. I tore my hamstring, and I tore it so bad I almost tore it off the bone. And you know, when I had gone to the doctor, they're like, oh, you'll never do the splits again, because at the time I was in like high into fitness and doing like fitness competitions back when they used to do like movements and stuff, like on stage, like the different things. And they're like, you'll never do the splits again, blah 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 blah. And I will tell you that I took care of my leg by getting massages, so that I was able to help not get a lot of scar tissue in there. And I was doing castor oil packs consistently. And in 1 year, I was doing splits again. So It happened, and I was able to heal my body. So that was one big injury that I had. And then funny enough, 5 years later, I did it to the other leg. And I did the same thing and I healed from it. So you can heal from certain things, you guys, even like as you get older, and like people say, as you age, you start to get, you know, your body starts to fall apart. That's not true. It's only true if you believe it to be true and you're not taking care of your body in the way that you could be, because I believe that there's infinite possibilities on how we can heal. And a lot of times we're just not aware of those infinite possibilities or the different modalities. And that's why it's always important to keep an open mind out what could work for you. So that's just a heads up for that. And then the other thing is lymphatic drainage. So helping again with like any lumps and bumps on the body, or if you have any type of like where the lymph nodes are, if you want to put castor oil there, it's really good for lymphatic drainage. Even, you know, just recently I started utilizing the castor oil with doing facial massages. And it was funny, probably about 6 years ago, I thought, you know, when you're touching a wrinkle, it's just like a muscle that is so freaking tight. And so what if we just start massaging that? And then after I had that thought, that awareness, I started seeing it everywhere, people talking about facial massages and how to reduce wrinkles. But if you incorporate that with doing castor oil, it works wonders. And I have had a really bad problem with clenching my jaw at night. And so my mouth, like all through here, is super tight. And I notice like when I'm doing the massages and stuff, it feels amazing, works amazing with the castor oil, and also reducing the inflammation that I would have through this area. Some people also find that it's relieved headaches. So putting castor oil here, and then you do a castor oil pack just gently on the back of your neck when you have a headache to reduce that. The other thing you can do that I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about the adrenals and liver is that if you have backaches, lower backaches, to do castor oil packs, because it really helps in relieving back pain and helping you, again, having a better sleep. And so where did I hear about this in the beginning? Like, why? Well, I am one of those people, again, I think this might be a little woo-woo, but I've always been into all kinds of interesting things that are out there. And so probably about 23 years ago, I started reading books on Edgar Cayce. And I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he was one of the world's best mediums back in the early 1920s. And so he did thousands upon thousands of readings. And within those thousands upon thousands of readings that he did for people, and all those they were all recorded by his secretary, all the ones that he did. There was so many that were that had castor oil remedies in them, and he talked about that. So that's how I initially heard about it. And then as I started listening to that, I started seeing, you know, like doing research in history, and that the Egyptians and people in India and so many different places in the world have been using castor oil for centuries for skin health and for various things. So it's been around forever. But here again, in the Western world, we're a little bit behind and just, you know, just kind of finding out about it now. But that's how I initially started to read about it. And so I would go to secondhand bookstores and find books on Edgar Cayce, and they were written in like the 40s and 50s, and just reading up on all the stuff that he had to say, and I found it really quite interesting. And so whether you believe that or not, that doesn't matter. It's all the things that we're hearing about now and knowing, just seeing from other people that the results that they're seeing. And so it's something that you can definitely to try out. And so, you know, oh yeah, guys, I wanted to say this too. The other thing is, like, throughout the winter, if you have like inflammation in your lungs, or if you feel like you're getting a lung infection or a chest cold, I should say, if you're getting a chest cold, to do a castor oil pack on your lungs. That's absolutely amazing too. I didn't want to forget that. And I know that I'm going to end this video and forget things that I really wanted to say to you guys, because over the years, the experiences and the people that I've talked to, it's been amazing. It really is an amazing product. And I have just used it for so many things over the years, and it's helped me tremendously. And I can't imagine not having it in my cabinet for when I need it, for if my son needs it, if he hurts himself and needs a castor oil pack around his arm or his leg or his knee or whatever, Like it's absolutely incredible for so many things. So I hope I shed some light on answering your guys' questions and bringing some new suggestions into your life. And if there's anything else that you guys want to know about castor oil, then please bring it to my attention. And if you like this video, you can subscribe and ring the bell for more notifications on some other videos, because I'm always here to talk about health and living the best life and through holistic living in general. So I hope you have a great day.